Hi, Paul Hefty here. I want to talk now about the triangle structure, and it's your no huddle kind of mechanics, communication, and alignments for using the Penn State H-back type offense. So first off, what we're doing here is we're learning from Penn State's offense, those 16, 17, 2018, when Joe Moorhead, who's currently the Mississippi State head coach, was the OC, and Penn State won the Big Ten championship and played in the Rose Bowl. It's simple and sound. It adapts easily to high school. The State High School uses this, and we actually teach it down at the 9th grade level. It's blitz beater focused, and it creates explosive plays. We're going to use Penn State's alignments and their terminology, so I'll show that in the signals with it. We'll use the Penn State split zone concept, which is kind of new, but we'll use old core inside and outside gap blocking rules and plays with it. Most importantly, we're going to use what's called a chunking of concepts and plays, meaning we're going to take bits and pieces of information or keywords and chunk them into one, and then we're going to scaffold everything. You're going to see we start with 4 families or blocking families or concepts, and everything builds off of that. Real simple. Linemen are always using a covered uncovered rule, and that's all you got to be able to teach at the beginning. So here's the 4 families that I was talking about. We're going to start with our zone, split zone, and you can see there's a family, there's a scheme, there's a route family. What we do is we have automatic RPO routes. You can change those with tags. And then we have themes as we call things with that. So split zone, then we'll go to stretch zone or outside zone. Then we do our inside gap, which is an A gap power play, 1 back power, what we call a backdoor power, where we're running away from the H and he's able to release as a receiver. We do a counter tray then, which is where the backside guard is kicking out on the end and the H is going to lead up. If you want to detach the H and have a wide receiver, so he's not part of the blocking, you can do a tag counter. Now the tackle replaces him. And then last is an ISO with the H leading, or what we call a blast. Your outside gap is a pin and pull sweep. Again, we'd run that towards the H. If we do backdoor, we're running away from the H. And then we'll use waggle, old school wing T waggle action off of that play action. Our pass bow really is built around pocket as a 6-man, half-man slide. Then sprint out is using, again, our stretch outside zone blocking. And Screen Pro, we use 1 blocking scheme. We just change the timing from quick to fast to slow. The way you install this is, let's take a practice. The first half of practice, you're going to just run RPOs. The neat thing is there you're doing run and quick pass essentially at the same time. And then you would do a team period there, just calling those plays against those defenses. The second half then, we go all pass, but you're going to use similar blocking. Like I said, for our sprint out, we're going to use outside zone blocking, and then we can use some of the RPO route concepts with our pass game. Now we'll do a team period where it's all pass. Then at the end, we go team and we mix in both the RPOs and the pass. It's a way to compartmentalize the learning and not make it as confusing. When we get into communication, real simple, nothing said means something, so that makes them automatic. So if we don't say anything for cadence, it's always going to be on the first go. There's a couple things we'll do here to get everybody going and set, because the linemen are listening to verbals. We'll do a rapid clap by the quarterback, says, hey, let's get set, we want to get going. Once we do get into the cadence, we're going to do again a verbal and a visual. So we'll do set with a long clap, and then it's ready, go, and we're off. Okay, ball snap. Nothing said, automatic first go. If we want to go with double cadence, what we call our freeze tempo, now the quarterback simply gets a signal of it's frozen from the sideline. Now he has to give a verbal call. It's any cold land, so Iceland, Finland, Norway. It's going to communicate that. Again, now that tells us that it's a dummy play. The skilled people have to get set and look at the defense like we're running a play. And now the quarterback is going to do the same thing. Long clap, set, ready, freeze. Now everybody will turn and look over at the coach for the play. The linemen still just wait for the verbal, so they're looking at the defense. We'll get the new play, and then we're off, set, ready, go. Again, we don't have to say any cadence if we go on the first go. If we want to go quick, we do what's called a short pistol. Again, we start in a pistol, the back does, and then he moves to the sidecar. That's a key point there. When you're doing the double cadence, forgot to mention, the back does shift to the sidecar to give the illusion as we're running a play. And then would shift to the proper alignment on the second cadence. For short pistol, we're just going to use the call Saturday or Sunday, alliteration, S words. Signal is now 2 hands in a pistol. Again, that means the running back is going to stay in the pistol. We'll just do a couple core plays like our power and our sweep out of that. And now the cadence is going to go set, go, and we're off. Again, you use this when defenses are waiting for the back to move to the sidecar and they're still milling around. You can catch them off guard. It's great against inside blitzes. Last, then we can go on a long cadence, or we can go on to, again, alliteration. We just use Tuesday or Thursday. The signal now is double backhanded peace sign inside. So this would be Tuesday or Thursday would be the cue the quarterback's going to give. So he's just going to go Tuesday, Tuesday. This is a signal to the receivers. Everybody knows we're going on the second go. So now we're going to go set, ready, go, and we're off. Real simple. A couple other ones here. When we like to do a quarterback sneak, the one time we like to go under center, we do that as a silent sneak and we're wedge blocking. So now we just do Wednesday is the call. The signal is just a hand going like this. Call it a beak flapping. Again, quarterback's just going to say Wednesday, Wednesday. Everybody gets set. The receivers and skill people just stay as statues. They don't have to move at all. And we're going to get under center. Once the center feels the quarterback's under, he'll wait at least a second, and then we snap and we're off. Linemen are all looking at the ball because they're all wedging that way anyway. If we want to ever use a silent cadence out of the gun, we can go Monday, which simply we put our hand over our lips, okay? Monday for mute. And then all we're going to do then is the quarterback, everybody gets set. They're all going to go off the ball. The quarterback, when he's ready, does a leg lift with the center looking underneath his leg. Once he sees that, he's going to go ahead and get reset and can snap that when he's ready. So those are the different cadences. You can click on the video and you can see these are our 9th graders doing the rapid clap to get everybody set, and then the set, ready, go for a normal cadence. A couple additional no huddle mechanics and signals is, again, you can get into a bunch formation where the linemen just turn around and the skill people get close enough they can hear it. You still use your no huddle terminology, but then you would break and burst to the line. Auburn does this in a lot of short yardage situations or in the goal line. A couple different tempos we can use. We mentioned the freeze, which is a double cadence, but we can also go something in between, which is a look and see, where you call the formation and you want more time to process. Look at the defense, you simply give both pointers on the eyes. The skills, along with you as a coach, are all going to look at the defense, see what they're doing, and then you can go ahead and call the play. We can go really fast with a repeat. What we call a go-go is you just use the traveling signal, and that just tells the whole team we're going to run the exact same formation, tempo, count, play as we just did. So it's a great repeat play. Great to use in practice and team periods, especially at the beginning of camp, is you're going to get repetition of that same play. You're going to do it twice every time and then reload. Next one you can do again is the alert. We just turn the RPO into a PRO. Nothing needs to be said, but that way the quarterback and you are on the same page and he thinks pass first. The fastest is a NASCAR tempo, which we got from the Patriots through Coach O'Brien when he was here at Penn State. He's just going to simply give this signal, and NASCAR is the word call, and that says everything. You can go really fast. You can use trick plays. You can do critical down plays or formations with that, real simple. And then also with 2 minute, something I got 20 years ago from an NFL coach with the Houston Oilers at the time when they were instead of the Texans, is anytime we do a circular motion like this with the pointer, that is actually going to be a quick pass, and we can go, that's a formation, and we're off, we're all going. Great way to be fast in your 2 minute offense. Again, formation, then tempo, then snap count is how the play is called, and we'll get into that later on. So again, you can start out doing the bunch, great for 4 minute offense when you want to slow things down or critical downs or goal line. The Supersonic Temple is what we normally do, where you're going to call the formation and the play, usually using RPOs. You can go a little slower with the look and see. We can always, again, turn the RPO into a PRO, pass first, which is giving the alert. And then we can mix it up with the short cadence, the short pistol, where we just go ahead and run a couple core plays out of the pistol and catch them off guard there. We can go to a double cadence and slow it down even more, or we can go on to last. We can do repeats with the go-go, and we can go super fast where one word signal does it all with our NASCAR or 911. So here's some examples. Let's go through the signals and show you the different formations, the chords that we use. So first is our duo right. Remember, you're going to signal with the opposite hand, so it's as the players see it, it's easier for them to process. You'll get used to it. So again, if I'm going duo right, I'm just going to do a peace sign, but I'm going to do that with my left hand. So this would be a duo right formation. Good thing to know here too is when the O is on the end, that tells the H back he's deep and over in his alignment. Again, we like to use that when we're running split zone or these lead type plays where he's got to move. Again, the B back starts in the pistol and then we'll shift to the sidecar once the play is called. So here's an example of being in the pistol before we start. This is Penn State. This would be, again, duo right. Other thing we do here is the receivers line up on landmarks. That way we can be fast. So the Z and the X are going to line up on the numbers, the A on the hash, and then we're good to go. Again, here now we've called the play, and for this play, the sidecar moves away from the H on this, and we're off going. Automatically done. If we want to compress sets, we just go ahead and add a signal. We would be duo right, and then we just say we're squeezing it. Again, we'll be 1 yard splits. Typically use these compressed sets for things where we want to bunch the defense in and get to the outside on them. If we want to go to 3x1, again, I love this. There's only one person that's moving, and we simply go trio. It's the OK sign with 3 fingers. Now, again, O tells the H he is deep and over. He's going to go with the call. We'll start in the pistol, and the B back will shift with the call. Again, one person is moving, trio right. So here's an example of it in a trio left, which now I take my right hand as you see it. And again, Z, X on the numbers, A on the hash, H is deep and over, and the B moves to the sidecar once the play is called. If we want to start running typically our sweep, or we're running routes where we want the H to release, then we do the same formation in 2x2, what we call this an ace right, which tells now the H is going to be up and out so that he can get off the line or get into a defensive end right away. So ace right is simply now going to take my pointer, ace 1, and same thing. Well, if we want to spread or flex that H out, we do this with any of the formation calls. We simply just move our arm out. We spread it out. Same signal, so this would be spread ace left would be this signal with it, and we're off. Okay. Again, H flexes out now, splits the difference, and gets into a wide receiver stance. Again, we want to have the H up, but we want to go 3x1. We just go trips, and now we've gone pinky, pointer, and thumb. Again, trips right. If we want to get into unbalanced sets, we can. I'm not big on these. I like 3x1, 2x2, but real simple. You just go ahead and use your ace formation, and you simply put your opposite hand here, strong, ace right. That's just going to tell the X he's going to come over and split the difference between the ace, the A on the hash, and the Z on the numbers. And again, is an ineligible receiver. Only person switching. If you do it for trips, we would do the same thing. Strong, trips right. Now everybody lines up in trips, but the X is the one that comes over and splits the A and the Z. We can get into a traditional tight end look where the H goes up on the line. We just call this tray. And again, now we're going to just take middle finger, pointer, and thumb. Okay, we're inward here. That tells us the Y is going to go up on the line of scrimmage, or the H become a Y. Now the X has to come over and split the difference, but he's going to go ahead and stay off the line of scrimmage, so he's an eligible receiver. Tray, right. Here's an example of it with Penn State. Again, this is the H moved up to the Y. The X you can see is split in the hash, the numbers of the A and the Z, and the back is moved to the sidecar. If you want to go empty sets, just think of using your 2x2 and 3x1s. Okay? So the first one, when we go quads, think of that as 2x2, even number. So this would be the same as running a ace right. So we've got everybody lined up, and it just tells the back to go towards the call. If we go ahead and go fives, now it's real simple. We're going to get into our trip set, and the back goes away from the call. The reason you do this, it's the same set, is we can move and get matchups we want, whether we want the B to the X side, or we want the B to the strong or the A and Z side. If you want to get into two-back sets, there's a couple ways to do that. This is what Penn State did with Tommy Stevens, used him as a lion where they actually had two quarterbacks, but it was two running backs. The H can shift once you start the play call, and you become two backs with your slot and your X away. You can go doubles where you want to have the A receiver become the second running back. Again, we'll shift on the play call, and now doubles, all that is going to be peace sign upside down, okay? So you can't see it on the screen, but it's down, and that becomes doubles right. If we go triples, it's going to be your OK sign, triples right, okay? Or thumb, finger pointy, triples down, and you're off. Last is you can get into an under center traditional offense. Wing T is an example of one you could do, and that is just going to be your right formation. This is where you would, again, hand vertical, you would substitute your Z for a more tight end type person, and you could do your H maybe for a fullback type person. All right, so that goes through all the signals of the formations with alignment and explains a little bit of the communication and tempo and how you would use that in the overall structure of the offense. Thanks.